Good evening. Wow, that was a fantastic dinner. I'm on my second plate. Haven't even gotten dessert yet. So, round of applause real quick for all our sponsors, our executive board, everyone for another fantastic convention. And with that, on behalf of Scott Eiler, Errol Seaver, and myself, we want to thank everyone that participated in the Saudis this year. We had, I think it was 80-something videos submitted, 7.5 hours worth of footage. Several people volunteered to vote to help us narrow it down to the finalists. And then we had a great, really close race in every category to determine the winners. So with that, our highlight category finalists are University of Iowa, Michigan State, Nebraska, Ole Miss, and Penn State. And our third place winner for the highlight category is Penn State. Our second place winner in the highlight category is Michigan State. And now for our highlight category winner.
I want to tell you something, man. Touch the guy next to you. Just reach out and touch him. Do you know that those guys are depending on you? Do you know what you've done with this program to elevate it to elite status? And you come this close, and because you've had an open week and your mind has wandered a little bit? Shut up! Remember the hunger you played with early in the year. Restore that today. Remember what you put in together. Remember what you represent. You are the University of Mississippi, the flagship. There's the snap. Wallace into the end zone. Everybody's going to say, I was there when Flo was a senior quarterback at BL Alabama.
It is just win. That's what they did at Ole Miss. Celebration going on deep into the night on the Grove.
But the fans of the Grove will continue to scream hotty toddy as long as the Landshark defense is circling the waters of history.
This is validation. They take the game over up 14-0 to play with an eye in the first quarter. So to me, this today validates that Ole Miss is for real now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Grove. 10 sacred acres of the collegiate landscape. Oak trees a century old above a sea of red and blue. Tailgating, shoot, true return for these great football festivities. High fashion, fine food, flooring drinks. A celebration across generations, and today is bigger than ever before. A milestone, momentous, magnificent, magnificent state showdown Saturday. College game day finally gets its Grove on. Honey, Toddy, get your money. Where the hell are Ready? Put Banquet. Oh, mix. Banquet. Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah.
So watch me come alive. Can we still kiss the eyes? Never find today. I'm ready to go. Hold up, I'm getting both of these drugs late. I'm mad at my bitch head. Might never plan a fit. I never let come like this is upright. You ain't that ass me twice. I'm here. Ain't on this like I'm for. I'm slow, I'm for. My dad ain't no phone, long as he real. He real. Left to the top of your head. I know that it's not to be tight. Your body too tight up because he was down with the chain. I'm ready to take this life as a flash of the pain. How long the title will be the crying and tell us about the stage. Your play. Back in the day, break it down. If you let the run for too long, 6 people a day, don't be stoned. How they say that boy gone. Come on, let you wanna go home. But you let me go in the zone. You know that you got to get down. We all back, we're both sad. Beating our chest, we go down, no lead gap. When I say what I'm about, but people that whole lot, so lie. You don't sound no comes back, we all that. Just fast, when it gets 29, the jump here, all right. All right. So watch me come alive.
But you were made for this, for such a time as this. You were brought together for such a time as this.
The winner is University of Ole Miss. Being a Mississippi State guy, I consider University of Ole Miss. Now for our motivational category finalists, Appalachian State, Duke, Iowa, Penn State, and Stanford. Round of applause for all of them, please. Third place in the motivational category, Penn State. Second place, Stanford. And our winner.
World School Drives.
That's us there.
Yeah, always been wandering in the schoolyards, wasn't through the hours. We had to learn how to overcome it. And waiting till we get sleepy. Waiting till we get so big they can barely move. Then we walk out of the shadows, quietly walk out of the dark, and strike.
Armani a pass again, finds the pass complete in the open field now. Dexter Jackson's pretty free. He's going to take this one all the way for the touchdown.
To the house in the big house.
Who was the wind in that moment?
Shotgun snap to Armani, has time, looking for a pass. It's complete inside the 3, touchdown Mountaineers.
The moment the McLaren was known for, and then the biggest fear that we had.
Pressure down, the airplanes, take off the left side, and drops in the 40. These Mountaineers on the play. 5 wide for Armani in the shotgun. Gets the snap for Irvin, looking for some help. Now steps up out of the pocket. Whoa, right for the touchdown. Touchdown over the Edwards on the QB draw from 6 yards out. The Mountaineers have opened up a 2-possession lead over the Maize and Blue.
How about the Appalachian State Mountaineers? Edwards rolling left. Throws across the middle.
He's got that open. He's got that pass. Wow! Going to 15. To the 10, 5, down to the 4. Here we go. Julian Roush to give the Mountaineers a 2-point lead if he makes it.
This is for one of the greatest upsets in the history of college football.
Good snap, pulled by Herb Stewart. The kick is on its way, and it is through the uprights. Through the uprights, the Mountaineers have retaken the lead with 26 seconds to play.
Here we go.
37-yard field goal. This is it. This is it right here. It's ready. Snaps through the hole. The Mountaineers have just beat the Michigan Wolverines.
Appalachian State has stunned the college football world. One of the greatest upsets in sports history.
Wow! App State! Number one, that's why we number one in the next period. What's the world? The world! And the entire team has a Wolverines. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And the entire team has a Wolverines. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
You came here for tradition, to be an extension of the black and gold legacy. At Appalachian State, tradition never graduates. The tradition that is Appalachian State football has been built by a group of men that have already weighed the cost of battle. This tradition was not built on offensive stats or defensive shutouts. Mountaineer tradition cannot be seen in the game notes or on the stat sheets. The tradition of Appalachian State football is felt in the silence of the locker room, moments before kickoff. The only way tradition never graduates is when the men in this room strap up that chin strap a little bit tight and put a little more air in that helmet, ready and willing to be the walking tradition. What will you do with these sacred moments? With every series, every snap? When you take the field on Saturdays, you carry the legacy of those who came before you. You are tradition, clothed in black and gold. Men, you are a walking, breathing representation of Appalachian State football.
what will you do with this moment, with this opportunity? How will you leave your legacy?
All right, wait, Eric. Take a picture of you.
Our last category, the recruiting category, here's our finalists. Florida, Georgia, Iowa, Nebraska, and Penn State. Round of applause for all 5 of them. In third place, Nebraska. I can't tell if it's better to say it and then show it, or show it and then say it. What's the word there? Show it, then say it? All right. Recruiting in the second place category, or second place in the recruiting category. Let's see what that. University of Florida. You like that better? Was it too fast or too slow? Should I reveal slower?
Go quicker.
And then our winner.
Our world can be such a big place, full of wonder and beauty and excitement. But in reality, the world is what we make it. Our lives, our purpose, it's up to us to shape, to mold, to define, to lift each other up, to encourage, to fight for the one. It's up to us to shrink this big world and put people closer together. There are so many obstacles that seem to separate us, but in the end, it doesn't matter where you come from, or what you believe, or what you look like. All that matters is that we're here, and that we're together, that we're all part of something much bigger than ourselves. Unity is a process, and here we're right now. It's what drives us. It's the heartbeat of the entire nation, the silver and black, and that special time of year where all roads lead back home. Companionship is a word that can only be achieved as a community, as a team, as a family. And you don't need to struggle with helmet just to be a part of it. Because no matter where you are, no matter how far you go, a piece of you will always be here. Now let's come together and do something special. That's our mission, to take utmost pride and pleasure in the process and more specifically what it takes to become a Bulldog. That's what this year is going to be about. To cast away all the things that seem to separate us, to embrace each and every opportunity that comes our way, to cherish the things that unite us, and in doing so, make our big world just a little bit smaller. That's the right way. That's the Georgia way. So let's get started.
So those are our three finalists. I'll be coming around here shortly, passing off slips. You should have pins at your tables. Circle your favorite for the ultimate savvy. Good luck.
All right. Before we get into the Hall of Fame, we want to recognize someone special in the room. This organization wouldn't be where it is without you vendors supporting us and making us better by showing us new stuff, coming and supporting our organization. And this year, we'd like to honor Kevin Stats from Modern TV Electronics as our vendor appreciation week.
Created just for you.
Surprise. I will introduce a good friend of mine, Mike Perkins from the Jacksonville Jaguars, to start us for Hall of Fame induction.
I'm not going to be too long. Thanks, Chris, and thank all of you. Man, there's so much on my mind. And I had this whole speech prepared for Mike Dockery. First, I want to say congratulations to Mike Arias and my apologies to his wife Jean, who I just met for the first time tonight. And then Arthur Kane. I don't know if you guys, if you're lucky enough to ever be inducted to a Hall of Fame, but the University of Texas sends one of their representatives up here. And that's a big time deal. And I'm not going to talk about how much he's paying by his salary. We'll work that out later. Not a big deal. We'll straighten that out, right? I mean, you know. But before I introduce Pat Dolan, who came from the Eagles, and Stu, everyone here knows Stu. A lot of you don't know Pat, but you know, he's scared of Chip Kelly up there. And it's okay. It's kind of like Brett scared of Mark Rick, but you know, he didn't do that now. But before I introduce these guys, I just want to say a couple things about Mike Dockery. I want to try to hold it together. Honestly, one of the biggest influences in my life. He stands for everything anybody should stand for. And three things that come to mind are: he's direct, he's faithful, and he has integrity. So I've known him since 1988, and since St. Thomas met Henry. So I've known him for a long time. He's unbelievable. He's my son's godfather. And I know, you know, and this goes without saying, this group here is important to the NFL. It's important to me. It's more important than you think. It really is. And this is where I came from. So when we come here, and I would admit, I don't know how many times we've been here the last 10 years, and I know this is the 21st, and you sit there and, you know, you see Bill, you see Darby, you see, you know, Mike Gleason. I mean, I used to have to get life lessons from Mike Gleason. That tie he's wearing tonight, it's unbelievable. I'm trying to get the Maryland job, and I find out from Randy Edsel that this guy's getting married on June 5th. Did you guys know that? Nobody knew. We're not going to tell anybody? Okay, well, sorry. But Mike Doherty is the best, and he's been a tremendous supporter of this group, of our group. I had And I don't know how to handle this one, but, you know, I sent an email today to our commissioner, who, whether you like him or not, is a good guy. He works for our 32 owners, and he's got a lot on his plate. And I sent him an email today about 10 o'clock, and he replied within 30 minutes about Mike. And it was pretty cool. And I had some other guys reach out, Bill Poling, Tom Coughlin, another guy that reached out. And I'm just, you know, Marge, Monica, Michelle, he's just a great man. So I try not to get too emotional sometimes, but he's been, both of these guys have, I would say the same thing about Pat, but Pat's too busy. He's got, do you guys have drones? You got drones practice? That's how Pat is, that's what Chip wants. Well, I'm on 6 games next year, that's okay. But I just want to say thank you to everybody here in this room. You know, whether it's Rue, you know, I hate saying my guys because they made me, Brett, Rue. But I'm going to introduce Pat Tolan, and thank you so much for coming. Rob Bradford, by the way, great job, and thank you for hosting this. You know, just take care of it. Terry did a great job today. He was one. But thank you so much. I respect everybody in this room, and I hope you know that. So thank you.
With a lead like that, we can only go downhill. But
Oh, thanks.
it is honestly with great pride that I get to stand before all of you. Some of you I've never had a chance to meet. A lot of you I've probably emailed or phone called for pro days. But I'm here because the guy you guys are honoring today is a dear friend of mine, and I'm proud to say that I got to follow in his footsteps. And the Philadelphia Eagles are very, very proud that Doc, he represented us for 37 years. He represented all of us for 37 years. He was, Perk alluded to it, and I know some of you guys have had a chance to meet at our video directors meetings, but Doc was one of those guys like Henry who always championed the CSVA at our meetings. So it is with great pride, and thank you to Chris Luke for inviting us, that the Philadelphia Eagles have made a donation of $1,500 to CSVA that will go towards a scholarship fund, much like what you all have for the Billy Pizzini Scholarship. And with no further ado, Henry Kunzel.
Well, unlike these guys, I'm old, so I have to read from a piece of paper. As long as you can read. Well, for those folks that don't know me, I'm Henry Kunzel, the former video director of the Buffalo Bills. I was there for 40 years. Now, I'd like to thank Christopher Luke, the CSVA committee, for the opportunity to be here this evening. Secondly, I'd like to welcome you to the annual NFL ARP get-together. That's ARP. You all know what that is, right? How many of you, if any of you, have wondered how the title video director evolved? During our first video meeting as video guys, after the Betacam equipment purchased by the NFL, we felt that video guy wasn't an appropriate title. Before that, during the film years, most of us were known as the film guy. So we decided after a bit of negotiating amongst ourselves that Rusty Nail's suggestion of video director would be the most appropriate. So we arrived as film guys and left with the lofty title of video director. We can also thank Rusty Nail for the intercut. He developed the idea of the Denver Broncos, and it spread around the NFL thanks to coaches who moved on. He really pissed off every video director with the addition of that. This year, the NFL video Hall of Fame honoree is my good friend and former video director of the Philadelphia Eagles, Mike Dougherty. Mike has certainly enjoyed a full life. Mike served in the Navy during the Vietnam War, raised 2 wonderful daughters, and is married to his lovely wife, Marge, who is here with us tonight. His varied accomplishments not only include the work he has done for the Philadelphia Eagles, but also the numerous contributions to the city of Philadelphia. Mike has always been the voice of reason with the NFL video directors. Unlike yourselves, the NFL requires equality between its teams' video exchange and other NFL mandated programs. These programs are ultimately approved and administered by the NFL Competition Committee. As a member of the Video Directors Committee, Mike was always able to convince our committee members to follow an approach that made sense to both the video directors and the Competition Committee. For that input alone, Mike will be missed in the NFL. In closing, I'd like to share one quick story with you. When the CSVA had their meeting in Schaumburg, Illinois, Exos had one of their famous dinners off-site from the meeting hotel. During the bus trip to the restaurant, we passed a country western bar. Mike and I decided to give a bar a look after the dinner. On the return trip, we had the bus stop and drop us off at the bar. But once we got in the place, well, you know it. There wasn't a soul in the place but for a couple of guys and maybe 3 women. And of course, when they smiled between them, they were lucky to have 10 teeth. Mike and I knew that we needed to get out quick. We thought a cab might be the best ride back to the hotel. After an awkward conversation with the cab company, we knew that we needed to find another way. While we were checking out the outside of the bar, Mike spied a police car with an officer sitting in the car smoking a cigar. Mike went back and talked to the officer, and he agreed to give us a ride back to the hotel, but only if we would sit in the back of the squad car. Before we arrived at the hotel, the officer turned on the red lights, drove to the lobby entrance, where there were several CSVA members. He stopped the car abruptly, opened the rear door, and proceeded to yell at us, "And don't you ever come back here again." We three enjoyed the apparent look of horror on all the faces of the folks standing at the entrance. Boy, and we all had a good laugh. With that entrance in mind, I only wish I had a squad car and a police officer for this entrance. So this will have to do. And here's the next member of the CSVA NFL Hall of Fame. Here's Doc.
Thank you very much. I love doing this. I'm shy about being up here. Brett, stop texting. I'd like you to see if you can come up with a motivational thing for Jack Morris. Because obviously you're doing a hell of a job at Georgia since you left. And I got a call this morning from Gus Bradley congratulating me and thanking me for getting Perk out of Jacksonville for a couple of days where he thinks he runs the organization. So the practices are going smooth. The team will probably be a little bit better because you're not there. But, you know, it's wonderful to be up here. There's Matt Barrows. Matt told me to have everyone look under their seat. Somebody has won a trip to Hawaii. One of these years I'm going to get Matt to really spring for it. They haven't gone to the hip often, but they're great guys. But I have a suggestion for everybody. Get rid of your XOs, DV Sport, take a little hair out of the ball, boys. Because obviously the other stuff doesn't work. So, you know, years ago, and watching the NFL thing was really funny because years ago they had a picture where the ball was deflating on the field. I don't know, some of you probably saw it. It was pretty cool. So the whole time I'm thinking about this, whatever they're calling it, I would call Jimmy D, but he's not taking calls. So, something to do with, the air coming out, and I don't know, I don't understand the whole thing. It didn't matter, my team won the Super Bowl again. So, Matt, whenever you're ready to make the Hawaii presentation, you guys go right ahead. Everybody take $1,000 off just take $1,000 off each, service contract, and be fine. You still have to go for it. Thank you to, some special people. Chris, Dory, Mike, congratulations to you. I was also very honored this year to win the first Billy Driver Award, presented on behalf of Billy Driver from NFL Films. He was a dear friend of all of us, and died of spinal cancer, and they presented me with this award, and I'm up there getting it. Next thing I know, Chris is in the background saying, "Well, we're going to induct you into the Hall of Fame also." So it was kind of a 1-2 punch, but pretty good punch. This year we were fortunate enough to go to Jacksonville. The NFL retired guys, which Henry and I, we all buy the same shirts when we're retired.
It's cheaper.
It's cheaper, we get a discount. We went to Jacksonville, and I think there was 9 or 10 of us. And what a time we had. The stories, not lies, they were true stories. And we went from Al Tremble, who was in the Hall of Fame here, with Vince Lombardi, all the way up till Andy Reid. For me, I really didn't work for Chip Kelly. I was there with Chip for a little bit, but not long enough to say I worked for him. Although Pat put me to work last week, so,
Did you get paid?
not yet. But, to hear the stories of all those guys, we went to this place for breakfast, and we were there for hours. And we had a ball. We had fun together, telling the stories that we all lived, enjoyed, and look forward to again next year as we all get older. And as you get older, it gets more fun. Jacksonville did a wonderful job for us. I mean, Perk, I told him on the phone, I said, you guys have never won a Super Bowl, never even been to one. So this is really your Super Bowl, and you better knock it out. And he did. Tony took us all out to dinner, and Tony, their owner's son or whoever it is, but he's the guy that Perk drives around all the time. He came to dinner with us, and he was, these people are billionaires. I mean, together here, we don't have $1 million, so this guy's a billionaire, multi-billionaire, and a wonderful, wonderful guy. He really enjoyed hearing the stories that we all told. And, that kind of stuff is fun for a lot of people that don't get to hear the stories from you folks. Kevin Stats, stand up, please. Kevin, he started with us many, many years ago repairing equipment, but he's better than that. This year at the Combine, he rolled out his new, stand up, Kevin, stand up. He invents things, and I was told last year after the Combine to have a keg meister, or I don't drink a lot of beer, so this keg thing. We bought this keg machine, and we all had these NFL instant replay trunks that were priced this high, and they cost about $1,000. We don't use them anymore. So Kevin took one and made one of the great pieces in history. When you put your cup in, it lights up, and hell, if you're carrying the equipment, you're in the wrong business, man. So congratulations on your award, and you should get an award for the other one too, because it's a lot better. But I had to make notes this time. Usually I'm up here just giving and not receiving. It's good to receive. Rob Porteous, where's Robbie? That's my man. I owned him in the NSCs. I owned him, I'm telling you, I really did. But this year, Marge and I had an opportunity to go to the University of Wisconsin football. Who did they play, Rob? And it was my first real college football game. I'm not taking anything away from Temple, but, you know, when they play at the link, there's a lot of people there. And they're a good team and all that, but I've never had the college experience. Our daughter went to Pitt, and that was pretty cool, but it wasn't the Pitt like Pitt used to be. And some of you that are here, you know, from the big schools know that. And to go to a Wisconsin game this year was really a terrific experience. To see the passion that you all have, the passion that the bands, the fans, it's just so much different than the NFL. And it's really, really, March and I had a blast. We really did. Now, we didn't sit out with the people, but, you know, I don't do that. We had a box in the suite, and next thing I know, Rob's showing up. I said, what the hell are you doing here? You know, he's not working like most of you. Hey, Rob, come on, man. And Rob's like, jump around or something stupid you guys do. I'm in the bathroom, the jump around's going around, you know. I'm hoping the guy next to me is not jumping around, you know. But he's a dear friend. And I want to thank my compadres over here, Stu. A lot of you guys know Stu. You know, from the University of Miami, where all the Renegades went. And Stu obviously is not one of those guys, but you know, it's a pleasure to have him as a friend now in Philly. And Pat, my good friend Rob Brackle from Pittsburgh guy. Of course, Perk, you know, I love Perk. And you know, for him to take the time out, like I said, Gus is happy that he's not there. And my friend Henry, with our same shirts, nothing like it. And of course, my wife, I love her. Thank you. Where's Robbie? Where's Little Donnie? Little Donnie, come on up here. You just hard for me. Who knows what the Redskins? Mark, come on up here. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Come on, Rob. Come on. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, I'm going to let Ken Norris introduce our next inductee. Ken.
Mike Arias. He brings his wife and administrator. We're streaming this. How can we say anything about the guy right now? Wow. Gene, you're awesome. Mr. Administrator, I'm sorry, I don't know your name. I haven't met you yet, but thanks for coming out. We welcome you here. Mike Arias. Wow, how long ago was it, Mike?
Yeah, long time.
Wow. Well, let me tell you, when we started this organization, Chad and I would get on the phone, hey, this is what we gotta do. We gotta buy stuff. We gotta get a printer, we gotta travel, we gotta do this. How are we gonna tell Mike? Well, we gotta call him, we gotta tell him, we gotta do this. All right, let's get him on the phone. We get him on the phone. Mike, this is what we gotta do. We gotta go, we gotta travel, we gotta get a printer, we gotta get a computer. No, ain't gonna do it. Ain't gonna do it, can't do it. Mike, we gotta get it, we gotta do this, we gotta do this. Have you seen the budget today? Have you seen the financial report today? This organization is doing great. And honestly, I think it's because of the discipline you set forth earlier. And that's what thank you. areas. What else can we say about the guy? He's just been a tremendous friend. He's an asset to this program. And let's just welcome him up here. What else can I say? Everybody's got a Mike story that they can share. Everybody can think of one right now in their head. Lisa's thinking about 20 of them. But you know what? Let's just hear it from Mike. Mike.
You know, I look around this room and I think about the CSVA when we started it back in Notre Dame, a little bitty room. We had all these people that were involved in it. And the room was all tight, and Chuck was saying, we got to do this and we got to do that. We've got to organize this and we've got to do that. Well, I think I would be remiss if I did not ask for anyone that has been in the executive board with this great association, not to stand up and everybody recognize those people for all their effort, for everything that they put in to continue this association for over 21 years. So you got to stand up and let's give them an applause. Another thing I think I'd be remiss in doing is not to say that Gene is here, and a lot of guys in here have never met Gene, but they know that there's something behind areas that keeps him right and narrow, and make sure he doesn't do anything that catches up with him. And that is my favorite. You know, what was that? Something happened in Orlando. So I want to recognize my wife, who's been with me for over 32 years, June the 4th. And I love her dearly, and she has been just a rock in our family, and again, keeps me on the right track. And one other person that has been a rock to me, and I've looked up to him for guidance and looked to him for a lot of different things. Arthur Johnson, who came in today, and I had no idea Arthur was going to be here. And when he was walking up, I kept staring at him going, I know that guy. That's Arthur Johnson. What is Arthur doing here? And I want to recognize Arthur because he is a great administrator for the University of Texas and does an awesome job. Thank you, Arthur. When you come up here, it's hard to start, okay? You follow a lot of great people, a lot of wonderful people that you've known throughout your career, 28 years at one institution, the University of Texas, and you try to come up with something that tries to encapsulate it all and make it come together for you. Well, it's really very difficult to do. I mean, Mike Perkins at Syracuse, that's when I met him. Okay, he came in, this kid was running all around, and I was watching him, and and had some choice words for him. He settled down, everything will be okay. And then now look at him now. I mean, Scott Ireland, Chris Liu, started at A&M. It was just James Duncan. I mean, it's been a wonderful experience. And one thing that I'd like to talk about is the CSVA and how it's grown. And it's grown because of the membership that's here. It's grown because of all the people that have contributed to the growth, the well-being, and stayed to the ethos of what all of us thought about when we were in that little room at Notre Dame putting this all together. And that is education, communication, and collaboration. Those three items are the mainstay of what we have here. The educational side of it is all the vendors that show up. I mean, and then all the presenters that are here that actually cover the whole realm of what we're doing. I mean, this year you had a guy come in and talk to you about investments. I would have never thought of that. I thought that was just awesome, okay? And anybody that had the chance to go to that and experience that and hear him talk about investments and what you can do and how you should be thinking about your later years and how you get there and how you can retire, you need to call that guy. You need to work with him. Okay, that was a great educational seminar. Rick Bagby, when he came in and talked about, you know, the things that he has gone through and then what to do when you move up in the organization and you're in the planning phase of facilities and you're looking at how to get all these things work. That was valuable information. That's wisdom. Okay, the communication side of it is that everybody in here is communicating with each other. You're all talking to each other, okay? Which broadens your whole perspective of what you're doing and how you're doing it, and you're helping each other and you're working with each other. It's marvelous to see. I couldn't fathom how well the organization has stayed within the ethos of what we defined way back in those early days. Then communication and collaboration, they have a tendency to overlap each other, because the collaboration side of it is when you're working on something that you want your conference to do, you can step outside of your conference and talk to the people that you meet in this association and say, I've got this proposal I'm working on, I'd like to send it to you so you can look at it and blow holes in it or add to it, delete from it, and give me a different direction to go. It's just amazing that you can do that. Okay, because most organizations don't work that way. You have defined areas that you stay within, and the collaboration that you can and the communication that you can draw on in this organization. You have people in here that have that history, that have been involved in all those different things that create that situation or help you in a situation or help you grow in a situation, and you need to tap them. You need to call those people that have been through the mill. You need to understand, you know, that they are there for you. And it's not just, you know, them and they, and it's a rivalry and we don't like you and we like you and, you know, things of that nature. I mean, you come to our stadium, you can ask Scott, you can ask Mike Maples, you can ask anyone. When you walk into our stadium, the first thing I do is say, hey, let's go eat a hamburger. And I got hamburgers, I got everything set up. Let's have a good time, guys. This at this point in time is we have no influence on this game. We can't make it. We can't win it. We can't lose it. And I guarantee the head coach is not going to call me and ask me what to do on 3rd down and 1. I mean, he's just not going to do it. But hopefully everything that we put into that week, everything that we work for, everything that we coordinate, everything that we put on a system for them to review helps us in that goal that we're out, and that is to win that football game. Okay, and that's the reward that you have. And a lot of times you don't have people look at you and say, great job. You don't have that. And that feedback doesn't come very often. Okay, but the feedback is how you can look at your job, how you can look at what they do on the field and know that you participated in that. You played a huge role in helping those kids, helping those coaches prepare them, and you've given them the pictures that they need to make it happen. So in closing, I can tell you right now, this is the most wonderful day of my life. I've been in national championship games and won them. Watched us win and celebrate. But having this award bestowed upon me is just, it's a very humbling situation for me. I appreciate it. I love all y'all. Anytime you need to discuss anything, anytime you want to call, any topic that you want to talk about, my phone is always open to all of you. Thank you very much.
Jake.
All right, I will have Jason come up. He's tabulated the votes for the ultimate Saturday.
The winner of the 2015 Ultimate Saturday, University of Georgia.
Yeah. Tough crowd.
It's my honor and privilege to start with the National VC of the Year Awards. These were obviously designed to recognize all your hard work. We have a lot of deserving candidates out there, but as you know, we vote on these by your peers. And so we're going to start it out with the Conference Video Coordinators of the Year from the ACC, a former Bob Mady National Video Coordinator of the Year, 2012. This guy, Chris Lee. From the American Conference, East Carolina University, Will Davis. For basketball from the University of Kentucky, Tim Asher.
Boy. It comes back to you every time.
For the Big Ten Conference from the University of Minnesota, Matt Schilling. Right, for the Big 12 Conference, Kansas State, Scott Eilert. For the Conference USA, from UAB, Jesse Halford. And for Division III from the University of Mary Hardin Baylor, unable to attend tonight, was David Twillett. For FCS from Northern Arizona University, James Ferrand. Our high school video coordinator of the year from Huber Heights, Wayne High School. We're gonna take the picture up here, Eric Sondergeld.